At 63, Ian Rush's ex-wife has made headlines with revelations about their broken marriage. But this story isn't about scandal. It's about the incredible journey of a man who went from a scrawny kid in Chester to Liverpool's greatest ever goalscorer. A player whose records still stand today and whose impact on football goes far beyond any personal struggles. Yes, Rush faced public scrutiny over a cheating scandal in 2013. His wife Tracy threatened divorce after 26 years of marriage following reports of a 3-year affair with model Carol Anthony, who was 20 years younger. There was also a speeding fine in 2014, and that bizarre legal battle he turned into an AI-generated musical. But these moments are just footnotes in a story that spans decades of pure footballing brilliance. This is the tale of Ian Rush, the predator who terrorised defences across Europe and became a legend that transcends any controversy. Rush's story began in the modest town of St Asaph in Wales. Unlike many future superstars, he didn't emerge from a prestigious academy. Instead, he honed his craft at Chester City in the 3rd Division, where his raw talent caught the eye of Liverpool's chief scout Jeff Twentyman. In 1980, Liverpool made their move. They paid a record-breaking £300,000 for the teenage striker, a fee that would remain Chester's record sale until the club went bankrupt in 2010. But Rush almost didn't make the move at all. In a display of remarkable humility, he initially rejected Liverpool's offer. He felt he wasn't ready for the pressures of such a massive club. It took a personal invitation from legendary manager Bob Paisley to change his mind. Paisley invited Rush to tour Anfield and the training facilities at Melwood. After seeing the setup, Rush decided to give it a go. It was a decision that would change football history. The transition wasn't easy. Rush spent time in the reserves, learning his trade and adapting to Liverpool's system. He later admitted this period was frustrating but ultimately beneficial. His patience paid off in the 1981-82 season when he fully established himself in the first team. That breakthrough campaign was sensational. Rush scored 30 goals in 49 appearances, helping Liverpool secure both the Championship and the League Cup. It was clear that English football had a new force to reckon with. But this was just the beginning of something extraordinary. Rush's career at Liverpool can be divided into 2 dominant spells, with a brief Italian adventure in between. His first tenure was an era of unprecedented success for both him and the club. The pinnacle came in the 1983-84 season, a campaign that saw him score a staggering 47 goals in all competitions. If you include his 2 goals for Wales, that number rises to 50. This phenomenal goal haul earned him the prestigious European Golden Boot, making him the first British player to achieve this honour. That same season, Liverpool secured a historic treble, winning the First Division, the League Cup and the European Cup. Rush was the driving force behind this success, proving he was born for the biggest occasions. He became particularly renowned for his exploits against Liverpool's closest rivals, Everton. His performances in Merseyside derbies earned him the title of the Merseyside Nemesis. In the 1986 FA Cup final, his memorable double secured Liverpool's first domestic double. He repeated this feat with another brace in the 1989 final, surpassing the legendary Dixie Dean as the most prolific goalscorer in derby history. Rush's brilliance extended to all cup competitions. By 1992, his 5th goal in an FA Cup final made him the most successful forward in the competition's history. His records weren't just about quantity, but about delivering when it mattered most. In October 1992, Rush cemented his place in Liverpool folklore by scoring his 287th goal, surpassing Roger Hunt to become the club's all-time leading scorer. By the time he left Liverpool for the second and final time, he had amassed 346 goals in 660 appearances. This record has stood for decades and remains the benchmark for any striker wearing the famous red shirt. his goal breakdown tells the story of a player who delivered across all competitions. In the league, he scored 229 goals in 469 appearances. In the FA Cup, 39 goals in 61 games. In the League Cup, an incredible 48 goals in 78 matches. These weren't just numbers, but moments of magic that defined Liverpool's golden era. The trophies speak for themselves. 5 league titles, 2 European Cups, 3 FA Cups, and 5 League Cups. Rush wasn't merely a prolific scorer, but a foundational component of multiple successive eras of Liverpool dominance. However, Rush's story took an unexpected turn in 1987. The Heysel Stadium disaster of 1985 had resulted in an indefinite ban on English clubs from European competition, with Liverpool serving an additional year's suspension. With no chance of competing against Europe's elite, Rush openly expressed his desire to test himself against the best players in the world. This led to his controversial move to Juventus. Rush wasn't alone in this exodus. During the mid to late 1980s, other British stars like Graham Souness at Sampdoria and Mark Hateley at AC Milan also sought opportunities in Italy's tactically advanced league. His single season at Juventus proved to be the most challenging of his career. Under manager Rino Marchesi, the team adopted a negative approach that sought defensive draws, a stark contrast to Liverpool's attacking philosophy. The Italian style emphasised tighter defensive setups, meaning fewer goals even for elite strikers. Off the pitch, Rush struggled with homesickness and the lack of an interpreter provided by the club. His only English-speaking teammate was Michael Laudrup, who understandably had his own life to lead. This period gave birth to one of football's most persistent myths. The infamous quote, attributed to Rush, states, "I couldn't settle in Italy, it was like living in a foreign country." For decades, this has been cited as the reason for his departure, but Rush has consistently and vehemently denied ever saying these words. He calls the remark nonsense and absolutely untrue. Rush attributes the quote to a joke made by Kenny Dalglish. When journalists asked Dalglish why Rush had returned, he simply laughed and said it was because Rush said it was like playing in a foreign country. The joke took on a life of its own and was mistakenly attributed to Rush himself. The popular narrative also overlooks Rush's actual performance at Juventus. He scored 14 goals across all competitions, with 8 coming in Serie A. While this represented a significant drop from his Liverpool averages, it wasn't the catastrophic failure often portrayed. In a league dominated by defensive strategies, his 8 Serie A goals put him on par with other elite strikers like Marco van Basten and ahead of Rudi Völler. Rush returned to Liverpool in 1988 and quickly regained his devastating form. His second spell proved that his talent was undiminished, and he continued to break records until his eventual departure. Beyond club football, Rush was a defining figure for Wales. He represented his country from 1980 to 1996, earning 73 caps and scoring 28 goals. His international career was marked by individual brilliance rather than team tournament glory, as Wales failed to qualify for major tournaments during his playing years. His greatest international achievement was becoming Wales's all-time leading goalscorer. On March 31, 1993, he broke the record with a goal against Belgium, ultimately extending his tally to 28 goals. He held this record for 25 years until Gareth Bale surpassed it in 2018. Rush's international legacy includes an iconic moment in 1991 when he scored the winning goal in a famous 1-0 victory against then-world champions Germany. His international record was built on competitive matches, not just friendlies, showcasing his value in crucial moments. After retiring in 1999, Rush briefly attempted management at Chester City in 2004. His tenure lasted only 39 games and ended not due to poor results, but because of a conflict with chairman Stephen Vaughan, who dismissed Rush's assistant without consultation. Rush found his true post-playing calling in media and ambassadorial roles. He became a television presenter, sports analyst for ESPN, and pundit for Sky Sports. He served as elite performance director for the Welsh Football Trust and currently holds the position of official ambassador for Liverpool FC. His contributions were recognised in 2006 with induction into the English Football Hall of Fame. He was also named an ambassador for the 2017 UEFA Champions League final, cementing his status as a football icon. The recent headlines about his personal life, including the infidelity scandal and that peculiar legal dispute he turned into a musical, remind us that even legends are human. Rush's willingness to air grievances publicly, including criticism of former teammates Robbie Fowler and Jamie Carragher, shows a man unafraid to speak his mind. But these controversies pale in comparison to his footballing legacy. Ian Rush remains Liverpool's all-time leading goalscorer, a record that has stood the test of time. His 346 goals in 60 appearances represent more than numbers. They represent moments of magic, crucial victories, and a standard of excellence that few have matched. Rush's story is ultimately one of triumph over adversity. From a hesitant teenager who almost rejected Liverpool to becoming their greatest goalscorer, he showed that talent combined with determination can overcome any obstacle. His brief struggles in Italy and personal controversies later in life don't diminish what he achieved on the pitch. At 63, Ian Rush remains one of football's most respected figures. His records speak for themselves. His impact on Liverpool and Welsh football is immeasurable, and his legacy as one of the greatest strikers ever is secure. The headlines may focus on personal revelations, but the real story is one of a player who defined an era and whose influence continues to inspire new generations of footballers. Rush once said football was about moments of magic, and he provided more than his share. That's the legacy that truly matters, and it's one that will endure long after any controversy is forgotten.